Hey everybody, the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and in this episode of the Typical Manga Review, we will be discussing One Piece Chapter 783, In My Way. And we open up with the latest chapter of the Jinbei cover story epic, where Watatsumi wants to go with him.
And I'm assuming Jinbei's going to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, they'll let him keep an eye on the guy. Yeah.
They won't be really conspicuous, though.
Well, I think they're both conspicuous enough as it is, so putting them together won't be too much trouble. Yeah, and also, like I said, this is actually kind of a take two because the first one didn't render, so I've got enough time's gone by. I've got the Viz version in front of me, and they have like Watatsumi, the way he talks, it's like the Tantada. I wanna go with you. Because that's how they do. That's how they do to Tantada in the English version. Like they talk like almost kitty-like. They like W sounds, like things like that. There'll probably be a couple examples I can throw on as we go through the chapter.
Yeah. Alright, so now we get into the actual meat of the chapter, and we first start off with Trouble going unexpectedly up in flames. So we don't actually see him, actually, Did he actually... He's not dead now, right?
I wouldn't think so, but you're right. We don't actually see him in the course of this chapter. We focus mostly on the people watching the fight from the flower field. Robin, Kiros, Rebecca, and some of the Tantada.
And they're trying to see if they can, help out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was saying before, like, how the Tantada speak is like, is he all white? We should help somehow.
And then Kiros and Nico Robin are just like, we should probably stay out of this. And I think even, like, Nico Robin said, like, the law of the Royal Shichibukai, a warlord, so he's the same rank as Doflamingo, and yet we see him being, basically burned to a crisp.
Yep.
And really injured and missing an arm, so they're like, yeah, we better stay away from that.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that Luffy at least took the time to get the arm. Like, you can actually see it under Law's arm.
Yep.
Okay. And Robin pretty much calls out to Luffy to send Traffy on down there. I find it fun. I find it kind of funny here that Robin's adopting these nicknames too, that everyone uses for them, like Traffy or Torao, depending which version you're using. Like
well, she's a Straw Hat. So.
Yeah, but at the same time, she's like the most serious one, so it's like she's not the one you would usually. Well, that said, she did have nicknames for the crews at the very beginning, so it's not completely out of left field with her.
And keep in mind that even if she is a serious one, she's spending more and more time with them, and she's pretty much like they're starting to rub off on her.
Yeah. I said, one thing I like about the Dressrosa arc in general is that how the Tantada are consistently able to just make her face fall. Like, just have her give these what the hell expressions that you see more often on the others.
I know. It's amazing.
I was watching their most recent episode of the anime as well, and that's the part where they're using the beetles as kind of like little propeller hovercraft things, like to get to the flower field. Remember that they're using like the beetles to airlift them?
Yeah.
And I forget exactly what happened there, but I guess right when they called the Beatles over, and it's like Rebecca, Bartolomeo, and Robin are like just like jaw dropping.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was the scene that everyone was talking about. Like, oh my gosh, they made Nico Robin jaw drop. That's like amazing. And she never does that.
Well, she's done. That's like the third time with the Tantada I can think of.
I don't know. I think maybe people are talking about the first one. I don't maybe because I know she's jaw dropped often. Which is surprising.
Well, she's been surprised, but the actual wild expressions don't usually come on her face. That only ever happened I can see with the Tantada.
Yeah, I know. I think it happened like right after she met them, right?
This is the third time. The first time was right after she met them, and she realizes how trusting they are. Like,
okay,
I'm not here to hurt you. I don't believe you. I really not. Really? Okay then. And then the second time was with Usopp and Frankie when they realized that they are the ones who pretty much caused this whole mess.
Like, I remember the panel, what she looked like. I just don't remember. I know I've obviously read all three, but the one I remember specifically might be the first one.
Yeah, I remember the second one as well, just because it's basically just coming on the heels of the reason the Tantada and them are starting their rebellion now of all times is because of the fake report of Doflamingo leaving the warlords, which is pretty much their fault. And they're like, "Oh, I am so very sorry."
Anyway, so she catches the Law with her spider net using her hands.
Yep.
And then Doflamingo is basically trying to stop Nico Robin because he wants to finish off Law, and Luffy intervenes using Bullet String, or aka Hot Whip, or
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
no,
It's,
he uses bullet string. Like
Yeah.
Doflamingo uses one using bullet string, but Luffy interferes with Hawk Whip.
Here, quick aside here. Sometimes I'm actually listening. Look at the chapter here. Do you have the page up in front of you where Robin's using the spider net?
Yes. Well,
What are her arms coming out of? Are they coming out of the air? Has he gotten her powers to that level?
they could be.
I think we've seen a few examples of that.
No. Look, you see, it comes from the ground.
Ah, okay.
See, you look at the edges. It actually bends from the ground.
Okay, because it was looking almost like she was getting it from the air, and it could work just because she's got her double power now too, duplicate her Kage Bunsen, so to speak.
Yeah, she can use that into great. She has great use for that. So let's see.
Anyway, moving along. Like I said, bullet string, and then Luffy interrupts the attack with the Hawk Whip, but some of it still goes through.
And then, Cavendish comes in. Dun 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 dun. Or Cabbage couldn't.
Yep.
And
again, Robin using the joke nicknames. So.
She obviously the nicknames are rubbing off, and he's just like, I can't believe I fell asleep, and yet you guys still haven't finished everything.
Yeah.
And
the way the Viz version works, like, I fell asleep and you still haven't finished this fight.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same as Manga Stream.
Yeah, pretty much.
And let's see. So Luffy tells Cavendish to take everyone and run away, but he wants to help out. And Luffy's okay. And Luffy's like, I'm entrusting the others to you.
Yeah. And then the way the Viz version does this, like with Cavendish's big old leap of logic, it goes, needs me, trust, magnetism, popularity, Straw Hat is my fan. I cannot turn down a request from a fan.
Yeah. Man. It's like the same type of logic that Sakura tries on herself to make herself think that Sasuke loves her.
Yeah. When in fact he is utterly incapable of emotions other than hate.
Yeah. Even till the end. In the manga stream, it's interest, faith, charisma, popularity, and then Straw Hat's my fan.
Yeah. So they just do different words, same thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a stretch no matter what.
Yeah. Anyways, like he goes to get Bartolomeo to use his barrier powers for stairs to get them down there. Leo and Princess Manseri are talking about how to fix up Law, like sew his arm back on and use the watering can to finish the job.
Huh. It's almost like a Kubo thing with the whole arms and limbs coming off.
But at least in this case, they do it because they actually have a way to put them back together, either with Law's power, own power, or with them. And Rebecca's pretty much like, at any rate, we should do as Lucy says and head downward.
She still doesn't know it's Luffy.
Well, she knows his name. She's just calling him Luffy. Or Lucy.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever called him Luffy.
I don't think she's ever called him Luffy myself either, but she does know his name is Luffy. Robin and I think Sabo have both told her that.
Oh, I don't know, because I know Sabo replaced him, but I don't know if she knows.
Yeah. No, but they have told her his name, like, because they were telling, when she wonders who he is, they tell her he's a pirate and his name is Luffy, Straw Hat Luffy. But anyway, they know. And then we have here, they're calling the Bartolomeo who's still fangasming over Zoro cutting down Pika.
Oh my gosh, he's foaming at the mouth. Is he like dead?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like he took a pill of cyanide. It's like he's like crying and just foaming and just like
the sheer awesome was too much for him.
I mean, it was awesome.
It was. It really
how
was.
How often do you see a swordsman cut a gigantic, like a giant made of stone in midair?
Multiple times.
Yeah, and honestly, like, not even make it look that hard. Man.
Yep. But now, like I said, this part aside, we're going back now to the actual battle itself. Doflamingo versus Luffy. Like, enough of this nonsense, Straw Hat. Law's suffering in his last moments of life. We just put him to rest. And pretty much Luffy's like, you're going through me first.
And he's like, and basically, like, he says, it seems I'm only halfway there then. And basically Luffy points out that Law, he's taking a lot of damage from Law.
Yep.
And there's no way that he could fully recover from that, even though Doflamingo's,
string power hacks aside, there's no way he could be completely healed off that.
Yeah, and then Luffy attacks him, but what it comes down to, he's fast, but he's not strong enough to actually hurt Doflamingo.
Yeah. And actually, I love the fact that Doflamingo just takes the hit from like a Gear second hockey bazooka, whatever it was there, and it's like, he's just sitting there with his arms crossed, just smirking as much as ever, even as he's flying through the air.
We forget that this is a guy who supposed to who originally taught Bellamy to laugh at people. Like,
Yeah,
obviously he's trolling.
yeah. I mean, that is something he's kind of good at. Of course, he's also very susceptible to being trolled.
I know, but it feels so good when you do it.
Yep. And then he throws his other attack of his overheat at Luffy, which manages to hit him. He's like, this really takes me back. We flash back to different times Doflamingo has heard of or seen Luffy. Like he's basically like, they hear about Crocodile getting taken out like by a Navy HQ captain. Like there must be more to that. Go find out. Then later we see that his bounty shot up. He's like, wait, like investigate this crew. I don't recognize the name. Monkey D. So he's again like we know Doflamingo's worried about the D's. And then you fell out of the sky right into the Paramount War and survived, and now you've come this far. The Paramount War is pretty much what the English version calls the Marineford battles. Which I like. I like that name, actually. Compared to things like War of the Best or War of the Summit.
Yeah, I'll keep in mind, I'll also remind everyone that Monkey, the D part is, he hates the D's. Specifically.
Yeah, because the Celestial Dragons, the D's are like their personal boogeymen.
Yeah, but actually, I think you pointed out before, does he even know that Dragon is a Monkey D? Well, then again, I think I remember also saying that they would have known. He knows now because they pointed it out in the Marineford battle.
Yeah, whether he knows Dragon is a D or not, they do know that Dragon and Luffy are father and son.
Yep.
Yeah, and he would probably definitely know about Garp too, because Monkey D Garp.
There's a lot of monkeys around, aren't there?
Yeah. Of course, Garp is more of an ape, really.
Anyway, so he's like, you fell from the sky and the world the greatest began. I'm truly impressed, and you made your way all the way here. So he's like, you're pretty much saying he's worthy of battling.
Yeah.
But I think it's better than Aizen, because when Aizen's doing, he's like, I meant for you to come here. Whereas Dolphin was like, oh, you came here, so I guess you are good after all.
Yeah, I mean, like, Doflamingo doesn't take credit for anything he hasn't actually planned, or at least not seriously if he didn't actually do it.
Yep.
And then back below, Cavendish is bridle-carrying Law. But it's like Law's pretty much insisting that they put him down and leave. Like, I lived the past 13 years so I could strike Doflamingo down. I've done everything I can. The rest is in Straw Hat's hands. If he's going to win, I want to watch it from here. If he's going to lose here anyway, then I ought to be killed along with him. I'm the one who got him involved in this fight, so leave me here.
So basically, he puts so much emotion, time, and energy into this one moment. It'd be like he doesn't want to miss it, because otherwise he wouldn't really get the closure he wants.
Yeah.
So even though he's not the one beating Doflamingo, seeing it happen and actually being part of that fight, I think will help ease his soul a bit.
Yeah, like win or lose, he's going to see this through.
Yeah.
But Robin reminds him that captains in the line stand on equal ground. Luffy's here on his own, and he doesn't participate in a fight unless he wants to. And Cavendish is listening to Law's plea to stay. He's like, I can't convince you otherwise. Like, he tells Robin to go on ahead, but it's like, I cannot allow you to commit suicide. I'll stay. That's the compromise. If you die today, it will be after me.
Yeah.
And then, actually, kind of like a little gallant thing from Cavendish as well is like he gives Robin his coat and tells her to go. Like, Robin's still she hasn't made any big deal of it, but she was injured during the fight with Diamante.
Yeah, Cavendish. That's the thing. Cavendish, though, he's supposed to be like the gentleman and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, he's also the guy who's again staying with Law to make sure he doesn't kill himself in the end, or get killed. And that he would die first. So it's kind of like this honor type of thing for him.
Yeah, he's got a Sanji-esque sense of chivalry here.
Yeah, but it's not made specifically to women, which is what I like better about Cavendish.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's more of a gentleman than like a white knight kind of thing. Well,
yeah, which
actually isn't his nickname like White Knight? Come to think of it, I forget.
Well, it's just it's not. There's no double standards, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Anyway, back in the fight, Luffy goes Gear 3rd, uses Haki, and throws out the Grizzly Magnum, which is a Gear 3 Haki bazooka, which Doflamingo easily dodges and counters.
So basically, he's too fast for the Gear 3rd, but too strong for Gear 2nd. Oh, well, what we're going to do now? I wonder what's going to happen next.
Yeah, well, we're not there yet. It's like, like I said, when exactly were you going to beat me? The 1 hour time limit is the amount of time until the bird cages closes entirely. Some of them are hobbled, there are bedridden and elderly, even suckling babes. Who will be the first victim? It pretty much goes on to explain like just how much time it will take for each little stage of the bird cages closing in to happen. Like when you'll hear the screams, when the land will be as red as a flattened tomato, and when there will be no more voices. And while the fate of Dressrosa won't mean much to Luffy, the dead will curse him as they leave this mortal coil.
This is crazy if you think about it, because Doflamingo is the ruler of this place. So the fact that he doesn't care, he's actually fine with with all this tragedy and despair happening is just it really shows you how much kind of an asshole he is.
Yeah, he's describing himself more than Luffy.
Yeah, really. I'm surprised that he thinks that Luffy doesn't care. Like Luffy does care. You know?
It's kind of funny though. It's like this whole time, like he's also like sitting up in the air, like presumably using his string powers to go Spider-Man in the clouds. But he's just sitting there looking down on Luffy the entire time.
Luffy doesn't care. He'll drag him back down to the ground and beat him into the dirt.
Yeah. And if I remember at the manga string version, here's like, Luffy like pretty much shuts Doflamingo up. It's like, you lie. It's all a facade. Which impressed me because Luffy is not the type to use the word facade.
What does the Viz version say?
It's all a sham.
That's
more. Yeah, that's more Luffy speed in terms of vocabulary.
Yeah. And he's basically he remembers that this country's been through a lot, and then Doflamingo says people have unfortunate events happen to them everywhere. You can't save all. You can't save all of them. Do you have a hero complex? Yep. And all you managed to be is a thorn in my side. And then Luffy's like, wrong. You're the one that's been the pain in my ass.
Yep, it's pretty much like, the Viz is like, stop getting in my way. It's like, Luffy's like, no, you're the one in my way. And I love how Doflamingo just shuts up at that moment, like, wait, what? Like, you made my friends cry, and you made my friends mad, and you still won't go down. So I'm taking it all on myself. I won't let any of them die. You and your cage are in my way. And then here's the big moment of that finishes off the chapter, and it leaves us having to wait an extra week because there's a break, not a One Piece chapter this week. To those two magic words.
Gear 4th.
Yep. And like that, and here's where Oda shows us that he trolls much better than Kubo because there's a break this next week for this chapter.
Yeah, but he actually gives us what we know what we're getting, and we know we're gonna like it.
Yeah, so. I mean, and like I said, I think we talked a little bit this last time in the first take of this episode because, like I said, they did something corrupted in the saving. It didn't work out here, but basically we're not sure what Gear 4 is going to be just yet, but I'm thinking it's going to meet somewhere in the middle of power and speed, at least.
First, I'd like to note, called it!
Yeah, you were calling it before that.
Yeah, it was off record, though.
Yeah, off record, not like in the episodes themselves, but on Twitter and things when you were talking about One Piece.
Yeah. I think actually it's more specifically I called it out when we were just talking on Skype. I was like, I was like, maybe there's a Gear 4th or something, because I feel like he's been using Gear 2nd and 3rd a lot. Maybe there might be a 4th, especially after all that training. You think he'd be able to develop a new type of ability, and apparently he has. And it's true though, because the Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, they are complete opposites when you think about it. And Gear 4 seems to be like the perfect balance. Maybe strength with speed, but making sure that neither of them slows each other down a bit.
Right, like not too powerful, but not too fast, but in the middle enough that there's still improvements. And I also expect that there's going to be some kind of like drawback to this attack. Like it's either an all or nothing, or it's just going to have some like potential drawback after he uses it that'll leave him vulnerable. Sort of like how Gear 3rd used to make him tiny after it got used, or Gear 2 would chip away at his stamina or They say lifespan. I was never too clear on that. I don't know if it's actually chipping away his actual lifespan, or at least just wearing his stamina really badly.
I've heard of lifespan. I will say this though. I mean, it makes sense his lifespan because he's accelerating his cells. Cycle.
Not his cells, but more his blood flow and his heart rate, which would amount to the same thing.
Yeah, it's cells. It's still cells. So he's basically accelerating his biological life span. So yeah, it would make sense that he's making himself die earlier because he's aging himself more if you think about it.
Yeah. That's going to come into an end eventually because he also lost a bunch of his years of his life in Impel Down.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot to him. I don't know why.
Yeah. Probably the more to draw a parallel with Roger because he died. He was dying young too for other reasons.
Disease. Actually, that makes me wonder: is Luffy gonna die like in 2 years?
I don't know about that, but I think he probably won't. He'll probably die soon. his death will probably be like the final part of the story itself, like probably like at Raftel or something.
Nah, I feel that's still gloomy for One Piece, you know?
Well, I don't know. I could see him as long as he achieves his dream first. I think he'll be okay with it.
Yeah, still gloomy.
They could probably pull it off without making it super gloomy or super sad. Well, I can't really say super sad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like the Ace and Whitebeard thing is kind of like I don't think it's gonna work again with Luffy, but who knows? But yeah, Gear 4th is happening, guys. Maybe there's a Gear 5. Who knows? You know.
Yeah, that might come a little bit later on there, but like I said, my own prediction for the next chapter or so, or at least next events in the story, Luffy will use Gear 4. If it doesn't defeat the Doflamingo outright, it'll at least will damage him quite a bit, but Luffy will probably be like experiencing the drawbacks for a while. And at that point, Doflamingo will either try to finish off Luffy or go after Law, because that seems to be his thing right now.
Yeah, I think at this point, Gear 4 should be able to do it, just because Doflamingo's been so damaged, like, so injured by Law from Law, that I think it's gonna be a little ridiculous if he can somehow survive this new attack.
Yeah, but it's not going to be a curb stomp of any kind, I'm sure. Like, not like when he started Gear 2 on Blue now.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, it might be, because keep in mind that even though Doflamingo is strong, he's not the final boss. We got Blackbeard, we got the 4 Emperors to go. Well,
right,
yeah.
but at the same time, like, they've been fighting too evenly right now for a curb stomp to be believable. Like, it was one thing with CP9, because we knew Blue was, like, mid-rank, and Luffy was going to be fighting Lucci eventually.
Yeah, but again, also to remind you that Doflamingo's been heavily injured. It may not be a curb stomp had Doflamingo been, a little healthier, but the fact that he's injured and the fight's been going for a while, this might be like the finishing blow.
Yeah. I was thinking about something earlier today. What do you think is going to happen to Doflamingo after this arc is done? Because I don't think he's going to survive his position as Warlord after this, but at the same time, that's the thing, though. He's got connections. He's got stuff on the Celestial Dragons that can keep him out of the worst of the trouble, but will it... he may lose his position as Warlord, but will it be enough to get him in jail, or actually in serious trouble?
Well, I do know that the Celestial Dragons don't like him, because they...
Yeah, but the thing is, he's got... I was kind of reading over things and was reminded that he pretty much got his position by being too powerful for them to kill easily, but also like having information that could hurt them that he could just easily reveal if he wanted to.
Okay, I wonder how that could be possible, because it seems like they can do anything they want and no one cares. They can have slaves. I mean, how you can't do worse than that, can you?
True. I mean, it's like something about them though, like something about how they got their power or something like that. Some big history similar to like the 800 years ago thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows anything like that in particular, but I don't know.
Well, the government will be after his ass if that's the case, but whatever. But then again, maybe he's only the Celestial Dragons know, and if they try to get the government on his ass, then he might just say it, and then nothing can change it.
Right. So that's what I'm wondering. Like, even if he gets beaten and loses his position as Warlord, will he actually go to prison, impelled down, or something else going to happen?
Well, I know that Fujitora knows that he's guilty of everything. And we also know that Dressrosa hates him like a bitch. So at this point, it's like you can't really control the information because an entire country is up in arms on you. So it might be out of his power.
Right, something's going to be happening here at some point. Like Doflamingo's going to take a big hit, but will it be enough to put him down permanently?
And keep in mind that as much as we hate Fleet Admiral Aokiji, not Aokiji. It's Aokiji.
No, Aokiji.
No, Akainu.
Akainu, yeah.
Yeah, Akainu. Yeah, I keep confusing those two names for some reason.
Yeah.
Fleet Admiral Akainu, even though he's a dick, he still believes in a sense of justice, which is absolute justice. In this case, Doflamingo clearly breaks that, so Akainu won't care. He'll call for Doflamingo's head. Yep.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm curious to see what the aftermath for Doflamingo will be in this arc, but that's not for a little while yet.
I hope it's not like Arlong, where they just where is he? Or did something happen? Because they never showed what happened to Arlong. They just said, oh, he went to jail.
Not really. I mean, we got Crocodile back, but not Arlong. But I think at this point, Arlong's time is too far past to really bother with. Then again, this is Oda, so... Yeah. I mean, and plus, we have Jinbei potentially joining the crew later, so there's room for that to come back.
Maybe in does eliminate him, being Kaido. Maybe Kaido eliminates him.
Yeah.
In jail or something, I don't know. Or when he's in transit.
Yeah, well, he's been in transit for it's been 2 years. He's not going to be in transit anytime soon.
No, I mean transit as in going to jail or going to trial. Whether he's going to win the trial or not doesn't matter, because Kaido will come in there, maybe send his agents and kill Doflamingo, and maybe Doflamingo won't fight back. He's doing
okay. I got confused there. I thought you were talking Arlong, not Doflamingo.
No, Doflamingo.
Yeah, okay. I thought we were still in Arlong.
No.
Anyway, yeah, but yeah, that's possible as well. Kaido could last against Kaido because that's going to be a thing as well. Because Kaido is definitely going to be coming after everybody he can for going by reputation.
Yep.
Because he's got a grudge. He's going to have a beef with Luffy and Law for sure. Doflamingo for screwing up.
Yeah.
Caesar to get his. They maybe have total control over the whole Smile thing.
And of course Luffy pissed off Big Mama. Big Mom. Yes, Big Mom. Or whatever.
Big Mom. Yeah. Either way, we know who you're talking about.
Well, Big Mama can be Metal Gear Solid, but whatever. Yeah. Big Mom, and then of course his connection to Shanks, and he's the final boss he's going after is Blackbeard. He's basically he has something to do with every single emperor at this point.
Well, I don't know if Kaido has anything directly to do with Blackbeard.
No. I mean like.
Oh, Luffy.
Luffy has something to do. Like he's gonna fight Big Mom and Kaido probably, and then he's gonna have a friendly fight with Shanks, and then the whole "you killed my brother, I'm gonna avenge him" fight with Blackbeard.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, he's had interactions with just about everybody of note so far, like other than whoever the new warlord and admirals are.
You got a warlord to fall in love with him. That's freaking hilarious. I never expected that to ever happen. I don't think anyone did.
A man-hating warlord.
Well, first of all, we never knew that there was a female warlord, so we couldn't really tell that. But when we did find out, it's like, in hindsight, it's just like, wow, he actually made a female warlord fall in love with him. Well, that is something.
I think it was figured that there'd be at least one female warlord. There's always at least one girl in Oda's groups.
Yeah, but we never thought it'd be.
Yeah, he's big on the Smurfette principle.
Yeah, but we never thought it would be like. We never thought that warlord would have a lot of like interaction with Luffy. You know. Like so this is funny.
And yet now she's one of his like biggest allies.
Oh, and keep in mind that before Bartholomew Kuma became pacifista. Pacifista, there you go. I wasn't sure there's a second I there, but yeah, Pacifista. He was also on Luffy's side.
Yeah.
And then we had Sir Crocodile and Jinbei. Well, Crocodile only temporarily, but Jinbei too.
Yep.
He's gotten half of the warlords against. It's
either for or against him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then then of course
Mihawk.
There's Mihawk. Mihawk helped Zoro, so technically you can argue he's a little trickle down.
And he definitely acknowledges Luffy's power as well.
And then Buggy's only a name because Buggy's he got lucky because he got that. Everyone thinks he's powerful, but he's not.
Yeah.
But we'll leave. He helped too, so like whatever.
Yeah, he's involved with Luffy too, but sort of like somewhere between enemy and friend at this point.
Frenemy?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. I never thought we had frenemies.
Well, most pirates are like that in some degree or another.
Yeah. So and then he's then of course we have connections with everyone in Dressrosa, all the fighters.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Luffy hasn't had like a $1 billion bounty yet because this guy's he's making his way.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's at what 400 million now, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, 400. But he's beaten the guy with 500 million, and he's beaten. He should be getting like 600 million at this point.
Oh, I'm sure he'll get a shoot up after Dressrosa here, because like I said, this will make the third warlord Luffy's beaten.
Is Chopper still at 50?
I don't know about exactly 50. I don't know about that now. That'd be funny if he still was, though. Or maybe he got upgraded to 55.
I think it's still 50. Yeah. That's hilarious, because they don't actually consider him an actual crew member. That's just funny.
Yeah, they consider him a pet, which is going to... Of course, at the same time, that causes them to keep underestimating him. What I kind of want to see, Usopp and King get separate bounties.
I mean, anyone with a brain could probably realize that they're one and the same, but I guess the Marines are not really caring at that point.
I know, but that would make it funny. Like if somebody who makes a report is like brainless, or like, because like I said, the only people we've seen actually be fooled by that are like Oars, who had Luffy's personality. Luffy and Chopper, who didn't realize they were the same person at first. I mean, and Bartolomeo at least asked first, but he was pretty clear on it right away too.
Which reminds me, how do you the difference between Bartholomew Kuma and Bartolomeo? Sounds very similar sounding.
They are similar sounding there, but right now, like they're kept separate, so like at the moment, it probably won't make much difference. Yeah. And you can always say Kuma if you mean Kuma.
Yeah, I will say this though. Do you think this is Straw Hats? Like this is where the Straw Hats like expansion ends? Do you think it's just gonna be Brook and that's it?
I don't think so, because remember we got Jinbei in the wings right now too.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be joining up.
No, he like I said, most fans hold to a statement Luffy made really early in the story where he thinks
10.
Yeah, 10 people.
How many is it?
Well, like I said, that's the tricky part because we don't know if Luffy counts himself among those 10. So
Let's not. Let's not.
Is it if it's gonna be 10 plus Luffy, so 11 total, then we're still a couple of people away because Brook was number 8.
Oh. I don't know. I feel like Bartolomeo would be too good. Like it's like I feel like he should stay as a fanboy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, Bartolomeo is not joining the crew. I'm sure. This whole arc seems to be about setting up Luffy with allies, like the same way Whitebeard had with other pirate crews, like being loyal to him.
Yeah.
This whole arc seems to be about that. Like we've got Don Shinjao and Sai. We've got Bartolomeo. Cavendish will probably be against his better judgment.
I'm not gonna lie though. Having a former warlord in a part of your crew, it's like epic.
Yeah.
No one would ever say that in the beginning of the series because we all thought that the warlords would be enemies, like bosses. No one actually thinks that they'd be joining your side.
Or even like Mihawk, where they're like somewhat allies, or even Hancock, where they're outright allies.
Yeah, I mean, the Mihawk you can believe though.
Yeah, but in this case,
makes sense.
Yeah, but in this case, we're gonna have Jinbei making himself Luffy's subordinate.
Yeah, and he's a captain. He was a captain, and he was above Arlong too.
Yep. Imagine I wonder if that's how we'll see Arlong again when he hears about Jinbei joining the Straw Hats.
The frick! Oh man, I actually want to see that.
Yeah, I remember the episode of the anime when we first got Luffy's first bounty. Like we go back to seeing some of the other people who he interacted with and seeing them. Like they had that a little bit in the manga too. Like for example, Baratie is putting the poster up, I think.
Yeah,
and they did that with Sanji's too.
Yeah. I'll say this though. I think Nami at this point can beat Arlong.
Oh yeah, that I don't doubt that for a second. At least Arlong as he was then.
Yeah, I don't think Arlong got stronger.
Nah, I mean, like I said, that was the thing with Hody in all this. Like Arlong got beaten down by Kizaru in the flashbacks, so he had perspective. That's why he was like laying low and keeping quiet for the most part. But Hody, like, he never got that, so he was way more arrogant than Arlong ever was.
Huh. Yeah, because the Admiral's actually very powerful. And of course, there's Aokiji in the wings too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he's become kind of a wild card at this point because he's not with the Marines anymore.
He's reverted to his previous name, which was I think was Kizaru. Kuzan. Yeah,
it's like Aokiji was Kuzan.
Kizaru was
Borsalino.
Why am I confusing those two guys?
And then, if it helps, and Akainu was Sakazuki. And it helps with keeping them together. Remember, like Ao is blue, Aka is red.
I'm not gonna remember that. Yeah. I don't speak Japanese.
Well, like that's the whole thing. Like they're all puns on like the whole Momotaro story.
The lazy guy, the dog guy, and then the guy who the yellow monkey. I remember the titles: the blue peasant, the red dog, and the yellow monkey.
Yeah, and I think Fujitora is like the purple tiger.
Oh wait. Okay, I was thinking that it might be a reference to the 4 celestial beings, but I was like, no, it's not.
Well, tiger. Well, no, you're right. I mean, yeah, because there's no monkey among those.
You need a turtle, and you need a dragon, and then you need a phoenix. Yeah,
the original 3 our admirals were references to like the Momotaro story.
Yeah.
And I forget what the green one was. I know there's a green. The other new admiral that hasn't been introduced yet is green, but I forget what his full thing was.
Oh yeah, there's a. I was looking. I was like, maybe was he in the opening? Was he the Mohawk guy?
We've only been told about this admiral. I think he was first mentioned when Law and Doflamingo encountered Fujitora.
Yeah.
Like I said, the one thing that really confused me with Fujitora and his name is like how they also call him Isho, which I think is his real name. But it confuses me because a lot of ranks in Japanese and in show, so I thought they were calling him his rank even in the English translation, so it threw me off.
The admiral's name is Ryokugyu. That's his alias. The 4th one.
Okay. Did it say what that one means? Is it Green Dragon or something at that point, or?
Literally, let's see. Oh my gosh, it's actually Green Bowl.
Okay.
Green Bowl.
Okay, so Gyuku. Okay, Gyuku. Ryokugyu. Okay, I see it there. Yeah. Also, another little thing about the admirals, I'm not sure if you're aware of yourself. It's like all of their character designs are based off real life Japanese actors.
Yeah, I know that was the case for for the yellow monkey.
No, all of them are like that.
I know, but I mean, I knew beforehand, before finding out.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I think that's about it for this chapter.
Yep. Like I said, at the very least, I think it worked out having to do a second take on this one because it gave us a lot more to talk about afterward. Like we didn't just have like a quick little description. That was it. So that's good. But yeah, like I said, we'll get. That was One Piece chapter. What was it here? 783. I lost track here now.
I don't remember. It was yeah, right. I don't even remember.
Yeah, 783. Okay, yeah, this has
Yeah.
been One Piece chapter 783 in my way. Like I said, there's no One Piece chapter this coming week, so it'll probably just be Bleach and whatever else updates this week, or whatever else we might want to throw in there. But then week after that, we'll have One Piece again, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
And then week after that will be Golden Week, so there won't be any manga at all, I don't think.
Oh, well, isn't that the same week as the Avengers?
I don't know.
When's Golden Week? Was that?
It's like 2 weeks from
2
now.
weeks?
3 weeks
Oh
from
yes,
now.
3 weeks.
Yeah, because this week is nothing, just because Oda's on break. Next week will be a normal chapter, and week after that will be Golden Week.
So this week, next week, and then the week after, right?
Yeah, so 3 weeks.
Yeah. So that's Avengers week.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
get some.
That sounds like that would be cool then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta remember to try and see that if I get a chance to.
Yeah. All right then. Is this? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay. So then. Okay. So yeah. There we go.
Yeah, we're all good to go then. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.